My excitement with the internet and related ideas are pre-internet ideas, which led to the internet later. The excitement started in 1971. I had done a PhD in India and went to the Carnegie Mellon University as a postdoc. And in 71, it was a very exciting year. The ARPANET was getting into very significant use. And so there I was sitting at a terminal running at 110 baud, a teleprinter, going clack, 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 and typing away email to a friend 1,000 miles away. And this was my early introduction. But I suddenly realized there were exciting things about the technology. One, it did not need a great telecom infrastructure. It could work on top of a relatively undeveloped infrastructure. And secondly, that it had the exciting idea of store forward messaging. You fire off a message and it gets there sometime or the other, and if there are problems on the network, it repeats itself so that finally the message gets across. I realized that these are properties of the system which are ideally suited to developing countries. And India in those days was in a much earlier state of development. And I was thinking of getting back to India in a couple of years from 1971. And so I was tuned to the idea, what can we do with this technology for developing countries? And that became the theme of my work for the next decades, few decades. And when I came back, I started working on it, put together a team, and started also getting interested in satellite communication for similar purposes, building a network, and demonstrated a packet switching network over the satellite system. And this is how I got involved. But later on, as the internet technology became standardized and there was some international agreement, we were ready to connect up in the world. And I had built up another team, a larger team, in the new institute I had gone to work with at the National Center for Software Technology. And our team there at that time managed to get the connections to the internet. And very quickly, it just blew up. A country like India takes to internet technology like fish takes to water. And we were all ready, waiting for it. And that was a moment of excitement. And my role was, I was the head of the team. Secondly, I was also a teacher, teaching hundreds of students the technology. And these are the guys who go out and make sure that the industry and business get the benefits of all the technical know-how that we absorb as the early people who work with this. And that was a second dimension, I guess. I wrote a fair amount about technology, popular writing and publications and things like that. So that was what I was doing. Personally, to me, the great pleasure has been one of collaboration. It's impossible for anyone to do anything today. All by oneself. Very rare individuals do that. But particularly computer networking requires a fair amount of teamwork. So working with the teams in your own institution, working across the ocean with somebody whom you have never seen and you're never going to see. Like for instance, our first international connections were made with Amsterdam, Centre Wiskunde Informatic. And I've never seen anybody there. And I've never met them. And I've never visited CWI. But the day we connected with the world, they were there at the other end over the telephone helping us to connect them. I think this international cooperation is great fun. I once ran into a US citizen in Montreal at a one-week workshop. And over breakfast, we started discussing an idea. And out of that came an important paper of mine. He and I jointly wrote a paper. And meeting somebody whom you have never met before, over breakfast, thinking up an idea, and committing to working that week and producing a paper. These are all fun things. And this is this collaboration that has meant a lot to me. And I worked with a number of international students, partly because our project was funded by the United Nations Development Program. And many of the values we have were imbibed because of UNDP. what is the significance of what you're doing for your national development? What are you doing internationally to help someone else? How well are you running your project? Are you reviewing it frequently enough? UNDP gave us all that spirit and management techniques. And I think it was more important than some money that UNDP also gave us. And we appreciated all this. And these are moments of collaboration with the wider humanity, not just your own little circle, not your own country, but everywhere. I think these have meant a lot to me.